All right, Monday, October 9th. So just have 4 hour chart pulled up here on SPY. So still on this downtrend, but we are having a pretty significant bounce here. Put in a couple of lows here and had a pretty green day on Friday. So just looking at the overall trend on the 4 hour chart, and we are looking short-term bullish here with this upwards move, but a little bit longer term, we're still looking pretty bearish. So we'll go ahead and pull up the 15-minute chart, mark out some levels. First, I'm going to go ahead and mark out this gap fill, pretty significant gap down on the ES futures yesterday evening. And so that left SPY with a pretty significant gap. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw a line right there just so I know where that gap fill is. And I'm going to mark that white for now. And we will go ahead and zoom back out a little bit just so we can find some imbalances. Not really much left over. We did have, not really going to count this lower wick right here just because that was kind of one of those like closing wicks that I'm not really sure if any orders were filled in this wick. So I'm not really going to pay attention to that. So I'm going to go ahead and draw some imbalances excluding this wick right here. So we'll go ahead and pull up the rectangle tool, and I'm going to go ahead and draw a couple of imbalances. Got one here. Actually, I'm pretty much going to draw this entire imbalance fill right here, and then I'm going to adjust this down to where price action opened up yesterday and traded after hours and before market open. So imbalance right here, and there's another small one right down here on SPY. So a couple big imbalances below. These might look to get filled today or later this week at some point. And also we did have this gap. I'm going to go ahead and mark a rectangle with this gap fill as well, just so I kind of know where that is. So a few imbalances here on SPY on the 15-minute chart. We'll go ahead and pull up the daily chart and mark out some lines around where price action is trading like we do every morning. So price action right now, pre-market, is around 427.22. So we're going to go ahead and find some daily lines around that level. And right off the bat, I see one right here, which was the high from this day. I'm going to go ahead and mark that one. All my daily lines I like to put in yellow unless it corresponds with daily pivots or imbalance fills, things like that. So we're going to go ahead and mark these daily lines yellow. I'm going to go ahead and mark this one right here as well. This kind of corresponds to several trading days, kind of the highs from here, lows from over here. And we'll see, we'll do one right here as well. So this corresponds to the close on this day and the high from this day. So 3 daily lines I'm going to be looking at, kind of sandwiched in between here where price action's trading. And then based off of that, we want to go ahead and draw the daily pivots. So I'm going to go ahead and put the pivots up on the board, see if any of them correspond to where these levels are. And again, I like to do the daily pivots off the 15-minute chart. All right, so we have one kind of right there where price action is. Another one down here over the top of this small imbalance fill. I'm going to go ahead and mark that one in blue. And one right here. And that's pretty much it. This one is kind of way up here in no man's land. I'll mark it just so I know where it is, but likely price action's not going to get way up here today. It may later this week, but I doubt it will get way up here today. And then one way down here as well. So 4 daily pivots I'm looking at, 3 imbalance fills, and 1, 2, 3 daily lines. So based off of this information is where I like to sort of get my plan going for the day. Go ahead and take everything back off the chart. So like I said, imbalance fills below, got this daily pivot down here. I'm going to consider this daily pivot a stronger area to look at just because it is the top of this imbalance fill as well. So I'm going to mark that one white. This pivot's just kind of hanging out here by itself, and these daily lines don't really correspond to anything other than the daily lines. So we got gap fill, imbalance, daily lines, and daily pivots, and that's what I'm going to be watching going into the open here. I'm going to take a stab here, stop above this swing high as we put in a lower high here, just 5 contracts. Might look to add if we get back below the swing low here. I just went ahead and took those off for now. We're going back down to this consolidation, and we kind of stalled out a little bit, so I don't want to get stuck here and then this come back up and then break these highs. So quick little scalp there, only 5 contracts. Alrighty, so that's going to do it for me today. Just took that one trade, and this was the setup. So marked out this daily line pre-market, came up to this daily line, tested it, rejected off of it slightly, and then broke it. And then we had this retracement back down here to this level, and then came back up again to this daily level. As soon as I saw it consolidating here and sort of stalling out, forming this lower high, I went ahead and took an entry with some SPY puts, only 5 contracts. And then I just let this come all the way down here and took it off pretty much almost at the bottom of this consolidation. So consolidation right here, that's usually where I like to find my exits, even if it doesn't offer a lot of profit. Any profit lock-in is better than none. So I don't really see much else going on right now. I was waiting for this 430 imbalance fill, gap fill on SPY to get reached, but it's getting a little bit later in the morning, and I'm going to go ahead and call it for today. So one small trade here on SPY. Ended up taking 10 cents per contract, but after commissions, only ended up being a $40 trade. So I'll take it. You know, I was looking to add down here at the break of these lows, but again, I didn't want to hang around and let this consolidation form and this make a move back up, which it ended up doing. So I'm glad I took the profit off right there. So small winner today on SPY, only 5 contracts. We're going to go ahead and call it, come back tomorrow, and then see if we can get some more setups happening and some more trades. So thanks again for watching. Leave a like on this video. If you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing. Leave any questions in the comments below, and as always, we'll see you next time.